gotta have it in your collection, right? Is that not how everyone thinks?
It's not. It's not. I have it in a digital library, maybe, but I don't need to have it in my
Is that allowed?
physical collection.
Is that a thing? Are you able to do that? Are you allowed to just? Is it legal? Is what I'm asking.
A digital library is completely legal. If someone buys the DVD and you take their digital copy of it, it's completely legal to have.
Okay, I didn't know if you meant you just found it on a site and downloaded it and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't out you like that over the airwaves.
I don't have a pirating bone in my body.
What's pirating?
Exactly.
Word. Well, we got a pretty decent one today, pretty interesting one today. One I'm excited about. Max, it's almost been an entire exact year since our first episode, and it's been a year since we really got going with this. We are back to NCAA tournament style. The brackets are going. There's a bunch of 10 million plus on ESPN. Not that I care because I have no affiliation with ESPN. I haven't done a CBS one. I don't know if I'm going to do a CBS one yet. I mean, it's why? What, am I going to feel better? It's like one of those trick shots, your bracket. If you do 25 attempts and you finally make one, are you really that good at that shot? So I made 1.5. One, I just kind of put one out there for feelers, and I like this team when I'm seeing, I like that team when I'm seeing. And then I sat back, and in our 4th and 20 group, you guys can actually join that one if you hear this before noon tomorrow. Go to ESPN 4th and 20 space sports. You can join our bracket group.
And that's an ampersand.
4th ampersand 20 space sports. And you can join our group.
It honestly matters.
It does matter. It does matter. We are the ampersands. Anyways.
I like that.
New motto. We are the ampersands. But yeah, so then on that one, I actually did the one I really feel. I like it. I like where I ended up. We'll talk about it a little bit more in the show. Near the end of the show, we're going to do a bracket together, our 4th and 20 bracket, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I have a good feeling about this. I think if we do it better than Chuck and Kenny did theirs on the NCAA March Madness night, the selection show, I'll feel better because that was trash. How are you a big network company like TBS and you can't afford 2 whiteboards for them to do their own bracket? They had to share one together and try their best to agree on who would go to the next level. They got them 2 markers though. That's they sprung for that.
Usually the board comes with 2 markers.
Wow. And there goes the little bit of credit they had.
Technically, it does come with 3. Usually they do red, green, and blue.
No, these are just straight black Sharpies.
Oh, well, then they ruined the whiteboard if it was a Sharpie.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it looked like Sharpies. They were the fat ones. It was a huge... I mean, it's not like they zoomed in on the markers. I'm not...
Vis-a-vis, know your dry erasing, dude.
I know my dry erasing. Apparently, the TBS didn't know because they got one board.
Knows drama. And that means giving Chuck and Kenny 1 board. TBS knows comedy.
So that's why they can't. They know funny, man. They know funny.
Whatever. But TBS would have given them 1 marker and 2 boards. TNT was we know drama.
No, it was on TBS.
No.
Yes.
Oh, because it's college?
Yeah, they even had commercials on TNT with Ernie and Kenny and Chuck doing stupid little songs. They were drumming on the desk, and it was the selection show was on TV. Yes, just doing all this crap. And yeah, if you go to the March Madness bracket,
trash.
It's on TBS. They're TBS, and they're trying to get TBS and True TV back up to the way of the world because CBS and TNT, as far as college basketball go, and ESPN, who doesn't have any part of the tournament, ESPN gets screwed out of a lot just because they have football. It's kind of weird. They don't have the NCAA tournament. They don't. What was it? I mean, I guess they have some NBA on Monday and Wednesday. There was another big one. I can't remember what it was. I was like, how do they not have? Yeah, they have none of the Olympics.
NBC owns the rights to the Olympics because ABC sold their rights. They would still. The thing is, if ABC is more so the Disney Corporation that's made a mess out of what ESPN's allowed to go after. ABC has decided, or Disney really has decided, well, we want the SEC network. Well, guess what? During March, that really sucks because the SEC is not good at basketball. For the most part. I mean, Alabama's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but
No, Western Kentucky are the best thing you've ever seen.
I mean, Kentucky is pretty good. Actually, I have Kentucky being kind of a sleeper in this. I think that they've really put it together. Last year, I was firmly against Kentucky. This year, I think they could really surprise people. They're putting it together at the right time. I do like Kentucky to spoil a few people's brackets because I feel a lot of people lost faith and just are basing it off of their dislike of Calipari than they are based off of.
Actually, see, my upset right now, if I'm not mistaken, where I have it, sorry, Davidson is really hot right now. That Hansel so hot right now. They're coming off a very good win streak and they're peaking at the right time. But so is Kentucky. But I think Davidson might pull an upset there. I think that's what I put in my bracket so far. But we can get there. Why don't we jump into some of this NFL free agency? Sound like something you'd want to do?
It's officially kicked off. It's definitely a good day. Football year is finally upon us.
No. That's actually the worst part about this is because you're so excited. And you're going to get this, and then you're going to get the draft, and then you're going to have nothing. And you're just sitting there. And that's the hardest part. It's literally like May through August. And then you hope basketball gets you through it, but some people won't even watch that. You'll have baseball. I guess we'll have the World Cup this year, which you probably don't care about as much. But the World Cup is actually quite fun to watch.
It's going to be pretty good. No America team in there, so, every spot's probably filled properly.
Can you say that again and realize how that sounds? No matter how you meant it. It's like, the World Series is going to be great. There's no America. Oh, yay.
I mean, it would be hard not to have America in the World Series.
Shut up. Shut up.
Exactly. There's Toronto, and I'm pretty sure that's it.
Are you done?
Just saying.
It's just one time. Just one time.
That's on you, man. That's all on you.
You nitpick all you want. Take the segment away. Go.
Well, it has been definitely an awesome thing to see, not only with the NFL. They've started to boost their trades year for year around this time. Like this year, I think we've already had over about a dozen trades. But 2 years ago, only 5 trades had occurred at this point. So it is really awesome to see that they're trying to be more active. What did the NFL learn this year from the NBA? NBA was the talk every day in the offseason because you never knew what was going to happen. Trades were going to happen. And I mean, the NBA also goes on a much different thing. They get to actually use way more of the schedule up than the NFL does, based off of the fact that it's an 82-game schedule and like a month-long playoff.
Yeah, right.
A little longer, really. But now the NFL is taking a little bit of the page from that the NBA has successfully done as they start to see that that gap of the NFL being the best, most watched sport, most loved sport in America.
Basketball's headed up, man.
It's fading. Basketball is real, and that's why it's what we've seen, especially now with what we've done with the combine and with the draft. There are people's names that you don't really need to know that you do now.
Yeah.
And we're seeing them get released. We're seeing them get traded. And because we have the knowledge of their names, it's become a much bigger deal. Like, let's be real. Tyrann Mathieu was a great college player.
Right.
There have been a lot of great college players that suck in the NFL. He happens to have been injured a lot. But you know what? We wouldn't care that he got released today if we didn't know who the Honey Badger was.
Right.
And the big deal that it was of him getting traded and drafted in the 3rd round with all of his, like, smoking weed mishaps.
Tyrann Mathieu smoked weed?
Right?
What? I've never heard that from an NFL player. That wasn't a Dallas Cowboy. Boom! Sorry, I get excited. Go on.
Or a Steeler. The Steelers always smoking weed.
Yeah, but watch, they're both pretty baller about it. They're like, yeah, they're no Odell. Put it that way. Foreshadowing is what I call that. No, but yeah, there was a lot of decent names cut today. I mean, Ndamukong Suh's another one, but that's one you knew that was going to happen. The Steelers let go of Mike Mitchell and their other safety.
But you hear these names getting cut, and the first gut reaction I have as a fan is, "Oh, we get them for free now. We don't have to pay them the stupid money that they probably want." The only reason they're getting cut is because they're valued at the money they're going to make, but the team that is paying them that doesn't. And so they're just going to go for more money from another team.
Right.
And some teams will pay them more than what they're actually guaranteed. It is absolutely bonkers. But
is that a stab at Kirk Cousins?
Yeah. Wasn't, but now it is.
I mean, so what was your feels on the Kirk Cousins deal, man? $84 million, 3 years, completely guaranteed contract, first ever in NFL history. Go.
I don't think it was really a bad move on either team. When it comes down to it, 3 years is what the Vikings are looking at with their window. And if it means that they don't have more money guaranteed 4 and 5 if he's not working out, that's good. You did it. That's a great deal. You paid what you wanted for. 3 years of a solid quarterback in his prime that has proven he can win games in the clutch moments. That being said, does that make him great at any of those aspects? No. But has he done all of those aspects adequately the last couple of years under several offensive coordinators? Yeah. So good for Kirk Cousins. He got the deal he deserved. It would have been, honestly, if he got the same amount of guaranteed money and you added another $20 million to it over 5 years, I'd have been like, what a trash deal. I don't get it. Over $130 million over 5 years for this guy. No, but 3 years, you're going to know what you got. And maybe he'll be loyal to you when you win games. Probably not, because it's Kirk Cousins. No one will ever make more money than Kirk Cousins in 5 years.
Probably not, because it's Kirk Cousins.
I don't trust Kirk Cousins.
How do you not? Has he not proven in the last 2 to 3 years that if there's one thing he can be, it's loyal? To have a team franchise tag you as a QB when the market is just going up and up. Sure, he played it like a genius and waited his time to get this.
He knew his value, and he knew that his value can be overblown by just sticking with it. I honestly am surprised more players that know their value and know that they can stay healthy and compete aren't more about the franchise tag. Yeah, You're making more money than you'll make in 1 year than you will until the next 3 years from now, when that's actually the average contract. And I think that that's why Kirk Cousins said he was about being franchise tagged another year. It would have been like $30 million.
Yeah, actually, I think it was 42 is the number.
$42 million. Yeah, he's down.
But he's double that now, not being on a franchise tender.
Well, technically not. He's doubled it for 3 years. So he has to play 3 years to get all of it. If he retired in 2, he doesn't get the third. The guaranteed money is based off of the amount of years he plays with the team. If he plays 2 years and they trade that last year to another team, he's guaranteed that money somewhere else.
Still guaranteed?
Yeah, but it's still over 3 years. So what he would have gotten is he would have gotten half of that contract in 1 season. So he basically...
Yeah, but...
he would have played an extra year for free under that contract.
I mean, I get it, but he couldn't do it in Washington with that line unless they all come back and they're exactly what they thought they would be this year before every single one of them and their parents.
No, the Redskins are trash. Don't get me wrong. No, the Redskins are still trash. They've done nothing to prove that they aren't trash, and they will still be competing with my Giants for one of the worst teams in that division.
Yeah, your Giants are making a comeback?
Giants have an interesting look about things. Honestly, the new Carlos Hyde signing makes me go, will the Browns now still take Saquon number 1? I think if we can guarantee that we can sign Saquon and then re-sign Justin Pugh, draft an O-lineman that can fit in at center or on the right side, I think we're looking out for a much better offensive line. With the signing of Solder, that's huge. Yeah. He's been a staple for that New England offensive line. He's a very smart left tackle. He's not the biggest, but he definitely knows how to contain speed rushers, which is now the big part of the NFL. Your strongest guys usually play on the interior, and your fastest guys are edge rushing. So he may get bull rushed by someone like a J.J. Watt or Jadeveon Clowney, but more often than not, they want that guy running up the middle causing pressure. I would say that Nate Solder is going to be that force, that leadership, that veteran mindset of winning that can really help change things around. I mean, Alex Mack helped out the Falcons when he came over, and now is based off of being a Pro Bowler, being a linchpin to an offensive line, sure, never a winning one, but he knew what it was to be a great player, a great lineman, and he could spew that over everyone else. The Pro Bowl caliber can spread just due to everyone wanting to be as good as the next one. But if you have a bunch of third stringers starting, no one's going to want to compete to be as good as what a Pro Bowler is.
Okay. 4th&20 Sports here in WBLZ Sports, where we've got balls. It is NFL free agency. The NFL year is upon us. We spoke a little bit about what Kirk Cousins has got himself into, and he's pretty happy about it. You brought up the Browns. They signed Carlos Hyde to a 3-year deal, about $15 million, $6 million in the first year. Now, for the last couple of days, yesterday when we were on live, just talking with the fans and whatnot, which was a real fun time, by the way. So thanks to everybody who came on and messaged with us and had a good time. The thought process that I have, and I felt really strongly about this, is that the Browns need to go after Saquon Barkley. Now you have Carlos Hyde, you have Duke Johnson Jr., you let Isaiah Crowell sign with the Jets. Do you draft Saquon, and are you looking now at a running back by committee, or is this something where they're looking to probably get rid of the number one pick now? I mean, or I guess go with that QB that I still think is a stupid idea.
I mean, overall, it's very hard to see a team draft a running back number one overall. But with the Browns, you never know what they're going to do. And frankly, the Browns are always wrong when they do decide on a quarterback. So I don't blame the idea of, how about we wait a couple picks, see someone else take our guy that we wanted, that way we know we got it right. That way they got it wrong, we get it right. But you look at this weird Bryce Harper wannabe and Sam Darnold. You look at this immature Josh Rosen and this
cocky Baker
Mayfield.
And go, why don't we pick Josh Allen?
Yeah. Josh Allen, the problem with Josh Allen for me is that Josh Allen just doesn't seem pro ready. He needs a couple of years under his belt before I think that he starts doing great. I think I think he could be very much so a Patrick Mahomes like quarterback, but that's the thing is I got to see Patrick Mahomes take a year and get to know an Andy Reid offense. I don't think Josh Allen gets drafted and gets that year. I think he gets maybe a training camp and a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but see, on a team like the Browns, where anything is an improvement from last year, why not get him that year at NFL speed? Yeah, because it's not like you're thrusted into last year's situation with Deshaun Kaiser had. Now you have weapons on the offense. Now you can understand an NFL offense and how it works because you have the pieces to see it work. If I'm Josh Allen and I'm throwing to Jarvis Landry and Josh Gordon, and I have a guy like Duke Johnson Jr. behind me to back me up, and if they're smart, they also got Saquon Barkley, I'm a little bit more confident in just going out there and doing what I've done since I was a kid and just play football. Because, again, anything is an improvement. Yesterday on the show, we talked about the Browns over or under 4 wins. I mean, it's a low-pressure situation. If they draft you at number 4, where I think you should go, they would be smart to tell this kid, hey, we are expecting this season to be a work in progress. We want to see what you got. We're going to get you ready in NFL speed.
So Josh Allen is your number one quarterback coming off the board?
No. No. My thought process with that is under the idea of them drafting Saquon first, and then another team, whether it be the Giants for whatever reason, and the Colts, who aren't going to take a QB, takes another one. So, if that ended up being the case, yes, I guess they'd get Sam Darnold there because that's apparently the guy they want. But, the same story can go for him. What I'm saying is whoever comes out, in that offense, get them ready at NFL speed. Unless you have a Jared Goff situation and it was just a complete miss the first year because your QB was...
Well, why not with Tyrod there, wait to the second round and draft Lamar Jackson?
I've said that as well. I'm under the thought process that the Browns don't have to get a QB 1 or 2 because you got Tyrod. No, Tyrod is not the answer to all your questions going forward, but he's a good enough QB to get you through this season. And
he's been playing in that cold weather. He could really, honestly, going from Buffalo to Cleveland is not like...
I think Tyrod has a great season with weapons like that. Those are his style type players. You got a fast guy. You got a hands guy in Corey Coleman.
And what's been killing the Browns the most, and you think about it the last couple of years, with all their young quarterbacks, what has stopped them from winning games? Turnovers.
Yeah, over and over.
Want to know who throws barely any? Tyrod Taylor. It's a smart quarterback to have. It's a smart quarterback to help mentor. He's been that outcast
yes,
backup
for a very long time.
He's been the starter that's outcasted. It doesn't make sense half the time.
Nathan Peterman, you're up. Show Tyrod how it's done.
5 interceptions
in the first half.
It probably would have been more.
It would have been
take him out.
I would have loved to see my first double-digit interception NFL game.
Yeah.
That whole staff would have been fired.
Oh man!
Much like they did after the draft.
Yeah. Right. That way.
If you would have told me a year ago we'd be talking about the Browns to this magnitude, I would have laughed and told you I don't know if 4th and 20 is one.
Mark my words, a year from now, episodes Browns. How they're going to use their 20 overall picks.
Oh, man. So 4th and 20 Sports, another couple other big names. We can talk a little bit about running back. No, actually, I do want to talk more about quarterbacks here. Jets. They signed both Teddy Bridgewater and Josh McCown to a 1-year contract. Apparently, reportedly, maximum $15 million. But they signed McCown to a $10 million deal. So
$5 million guaranteed to Teddy over 1 year?
There's got to. I feel like it's more like 7.
Teddy was about to be a franchise quarterback.
Was about to be, yeah. And then he, got injured, and people said it was a sad story. Then he got in for one game when they were up by 30.
Teddy Bridgewater's the next Derrick Rose. That would be so
Dude, that'd be
upsetting.
I mean, don't say that.
Put it in the air.
I think he'll be comeback player of the year next season. Josh McCown
for the
Jets. Josh McCown will have 2 games. He'll get benched. Teddy Bridgewater will come in, play his ass off, and he will be the guy.
So Teddy Bridgewater
comeback player of the year 2009
starts the season number 2 on the depth chart.
Yes, as of now, they've already said that Josh McCown, at least going into OTAs, will be the starter.
Interesting.
So I think it'll be much like the Tom Savage and Deshaun Watson thing. This is our guy. We're going to develop the young guy until you realize your guy doesn't have it, and the young guy was your guy all along. And he comes in and he plays pretty well. I mean, he give him a speedy receiver like a Robbie Anderson. You're probably going to have to figure out a couple more things on the outside, a couple more pieces for him. But I think it'll be Teddy Bridgewater who will end up playing. You didn't think he was going to play last year. I knew he'd come back, and I think again he will end up being the player that we were ready for him to be. Maybe not to that magnitude right away, but he'll definitely be starting caliber in the NFL. That's my long shot, if you will. And I don't really think it's that long. Probably like a 3-pointer, but your foot was on the line, so you got 2 points.
Okay.
You don't believe it? Understandable. Got to see it to believe it, son. All right. What about you? All right. So what signing really stuck out to you over the last couple of days? Not quarterbacks.
Not quarterbacks?
Yes.
I was honestly really surprised by the Jonathan Stewart signing.
Fair.
Just because I wasn't very surprised either by Norwell spurning Gettleman from the Panthers. The fact was, when he was the Panthers, he got fired from the Panthers GM job for a reason. Wasn't very much liked by players. So I just find it very hard to believe that Jon Stewart liked Gettleman that much, especially after all the things D'Angelo Williams said. And it's like D'Angelo Williams and him were tight, I was pretty sure. So it just is funny to see them have such a difference of opinion. I don't really see him having that great of an impact on the Giants. I still think the Giants would be remiss if Saquon's there and they don't take him. He's better than Paul Perkins.
Yeah.
Better than Wayne Gallman, I guess. Robbie Anderson, it's debatable whether or not he'll be in jail. He's going to have good lawyers. He won't be in jail. He just might not be on the Jets.
That's fair.
It's up in the air, though, with that guy.
I forgot about that, actually. Yeah. I definitely did. Gosh, man, these NFL players, Sean Smith, Robbie Anderson.
We still don't even know about Reuben Foster.
Oh, no, they haven't. I mean, did they cut him?
No, he's still there.
He's still in 49ers? Yeah. Yeah, they mentioned that he was looked at about domestic violence, and then I never heard another peep about him. So that remains to be seen on the 49ers. As far as Jonathan Stewart goes, it could just be the part where he kind of realized not many people were going to be breaking down the door to sign him. A lot of people think he's old and doesn't have much left, and he, of course, wants to tell everyone the difference.
He's not getting more touches from Christian McCaffrey.
Exactly, right? So, I mean, and it may not be, David Gettleman's not the part that he really has to worry about. He's comfortable with Gettleman. He at least knows what he's going to get, instead of going somewhere else and possibly being lied to or, just bench riding the entire season. That's a horrible way to go out on your career. The one that got me, and we talked a small bit about this yesterday, was the Jimmy Graham signing. Mostly because it also came with the release of Jordy Nelson. But, Aaron Rodgers hasn't been a guy that likes to use his tight ends that often. So, to go get a tight end, even though it is this big style receiver, red zone threat, and, can do a lot of things, unless you're about to change a scheme or two to put him in the system and make it really work, what are you doing to keep Rodgers happy? Because his contract's over soon. So are they deciding they're getting ready to move on from Aaron Rodgers? Is that what all this has been about? Letting go his coach, letting go his receiver? Or is it just, hey, we really think this is
It might be even more of just their overall faith in Aaron Rodgers and not in the people that surround him. In fact, there has been a lot of talks about how sometimes people believe that his sentiment towards the people around him make him not as good, because he'd rather see some of their success instead of caring about really driving his own. That's why they're going to get Danica Patrick out of there. When it comes to Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I saw it with Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings didn't do anything after he left him. Jordy Nelson without him didn't do anything. He still performed great without Jordy Nelson, did he not?
Well, yeah, but
my point is, you don't need Jordy. You don't need that quarterback coach. You need Aaron Rodgers. But if you're not going to even try to make him happy, well, you're probably going to get bad Aaron Rodgers, which isn't very bad, but it's still not championship-winning Aaron Rodgers. Now, that does not mean that there aren't receivers out there still in the market that they could grab. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have a great connection with Geronimo Allison, or he doesn't have a great connection. I mean, he definitely does with Randall Cobb.
Right, and he definitely knows Devontae Adams.
Younger, faster, and bigger wide receivers. Now they're not as quick. Where you find quick guys? The draft. And if Mike McCarthy is any bit as good as everyone else wants to believe, because I don't, bad coach.
Yeah, but this isn't a deep wide receiver class either, though. So I mean,
it's not a deep wide receiver class. There are shifty guys in it. Like, what I'm saying is,
guys you got out there, you put on your bench to develop.
You could go pick up right now DJ Humphries off of Tampa. I mean, Cole Beasley, off of Dallas. Those guys are good receivers for their teams. They'd be number one receivers for a Belichick offense. Cole Beasley with New England would be unstoppable.
It'd be scary, but it's also with Brady. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Aaron Rodgers is better than Brady in my eyes.
I believe that. In certain ways. 4th and 20 Sports, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with you after some messages from our sponsors here on WBLZ Sports, where we've got balls. Yeah.
Or are
we? So, where do we want to go? We're going to the bra. That'll probably get us about 37.
What do you think out there, dude?
Dude gone. Pretty sure that's number one.
Hey,
all right. Maybe if I do that, then I do that. No, not that.
Well, you're ready.
I'm not ready. Oh, hi. Oh, wait, maybe it was two. That's funny. Let's see what happens when I change it and then go like that. Would you look at that? Card. Huh. Well, alrighty then. Yeah, I'm ready if you're ready.
Totally ready.
Well, but I'm not ready. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's be ready. Let's get back to the airways. 3, 2. Welcome back to 4th and 20 Sports. Thank you guys for listening and staying out there with us. Thank you guys for liking and sharing and following 4th and 20 Sports on Facebook, on Twitter, on the Apple Podcasts, on iTunes, on SoundCloud. Thanks for telling your friends about it. Thanks for putting it up on your wall. You guys should take lipstick and just write it on your bathroom mirrors so you think about 4th and 20 Sports all the time when you go in there. It's cool. Just, yeah. Put it on your fridge. 4th and 20 Sports. So you open it and you're like, I should go watch what those guys are doing. We'll be doing a lot of good stuff. Bruh. Like bruh.
Bruh.
What up, bruh? I got it, bruh. So it's that time. It's that bruh time, bruh. So for those out there who don't know what bruh is, bruh. Bruh is that moment when something in the week has gone down that you kind of watch and you have to watch it again because there's so much level of disbelief that you just sit back and go, did that really happen? Bruh. Like, for instance, man, all those kids out there about to leave their 20s, headed to the lifestyle of the 30s, you go kind of hard. That's the birthday where you go, you know what, it's time to kiss it all goodbye and be ready to start my adult life. That is, of course, unless you're filthy, stinking rich. You know, like a 5-year, $202 million player by the name of Steph Curry, who just recently turned 30 years old. And they had a ball. My man Steph pulled up to his birthday party on a yacht. Cigar in the mouth, ready to ball out. Aisha on the hip, because, you know, that's a pretty lady right there. If you got an Aisha Curry, she going to be right by your side, ride or die for sure. He pulled up on a yacht. And Steph and the Warriors proceeded to party. To the point where you got E40 at the party just performing. You just have E40 at your birthday party. No, I don't need a playlist. I got E40 just going to rock the mic for us. Steph Curry is sitting on stage with E40 behind him performing his hit songs, all 2 of them, while someone is feeding this man ribs. Boy, if that ain't the life on your birthday. If you had told me when I was in 4th, 5th grade that I could one day be turning 30, be making $200+ million, and have a bad girl feeding me ribs while I'm sitting on stage, I would have got A's in every single class. You gotta be out, bruh. E40 was just sitting back there like every time he went, ugh, it's because he's like, you ain't gonna give me some of the ribs. You just gonna ask me to perform, but you ain't gonna give me some of the ribs.
Yeah, they really did go wild on that, though. I'm pretty sure that's how Clay broke
his thumb. You got Klay Thompson sliding around and fracturing his wrist, out for 2 weeks now, or fractured his thumb. He can't dance, except in China where nobody else can dance. Bruh. That's baller. I want a party like that. Can we go on a yacht for my 30th? Wow.
I mean, it's right around the corner. Like, hey, I mean, like, the permitting and like.
What'd you do on your 30th?
My 30th hasn't happened yet. Jerk.
Bruh. What up, bruh?
Well.
TC, what up, bruh?
my bruh stays a little close to home. Odell Beckham Jr.
Bruh.
I'm
gonna sit back.
You need new friends, Odell. I don't know how to explain it to you. I don't know if anyone will be able to. You're just so hip that you may not understand good advice. But literally, man, you're going to be recorded holding a blunt while sitting next to a girl snorting some coke?
I mean, a white powdery substance. We don't know.
I don't have a boss. Some coke?
We don't know what it was. Lots of people.
Bruh. You gotta be out of your mind. And, I mean, it's one thing for, like, the stupid coach in Miami to do it. But on the verge of a contract extension, if I was your friend, I would never have let that happen. You should be my friend, Odell. That's the real bruh here. But come on, bruh. You're going to let all that when you know that you have a new regime that's very strict. When you know that you're coming off of a whole season of not doing anything other than being in headlines. And while you're looking to become the highest non-quarterback football player paid, bad move. Shouldn't have done that. Bruh, you need to get your act together. You're just that much more talented than Josh Gordon. Don't let them just take it all away from you because you want to be Josh Gordon all of a sudden. Be cool. Be collected. Don't hang out with Ronaldo. Ronaldo's a bad every time I see a player hang out with Ronaldo, they're in trouble. The man is the Alex Rodriguez of soccer. He's just not to be trusted. You can't trust someone that looks like they're made from marble.
Well, they don't get in trouble.
I mean, he's getting in the weird trouble, like mob boss trouble, where it's like, we don't know how to get you in trouble, so your taxes are messed up. That's when you know you're really good at crime.
When your bookie reports your winnings.
Yeah, when your audits are what's getting you put in jail, it's because you're getting away with way more crime than you should be. That's a fact.
Oh, man.
Heard it here.
Right here live on 4th and 20 Sports. That's awesome. Yeah, so what do you think is going to happen to Odell now? How do you think your New York Football Giants handle this?
I think that he misses all of OTAs. I think he comes back for the last preseason game on the team and is starting week 1. And hopefully, what erases everything, you can ask Ray Lewis, being awesome. If you're awesome on the field, I'm going to forget all about it and we'll bring up contracts. Now, is this going to make you the highest paid wide receiver ever? Maybe. Wide receiver.
Yeah.
But you're not making Von Miller money. You're not going to make Kirk Cousins money. You have to accept that, Odell. You put too many red flags on you, and it makes it dangerous. The only team that's going to do it's the Jets.
Ooh. That'd be interesting. What a way to ruin your career and just move over to the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. With Teddy Bridgewater.
How Plaxico decided to end his.
Well, after shooting himself in the leg.
I mean, but he shot himself in the foot basically with this.
Anyway.
The broken ankle.
Oh, that's messed up. Somehow, some way, for some reason. 4th and 20 Sports, we are continuing on. So, the downside to NFL free agency is that you're all excited that everything opens up today to get going, but nothing's really happened because everything happened in the last 4 days. Like, there's no news to report because it's all been reported. Like, we're sitting here, we're within this almost to the end of the second hour. No one else has really been signed. No one else has really been. I mean, some official releasings, but other than that.
I mean, we should be finding out about Jordy Nelson pretty soon. We should be finding out about Austin Seferian-Jenkins. It's nice to see that Chris Ivory got a job again.
Yeah, well, he was one of the first running backs to sign. I mean, with the Bills, and that makes sense. I mean, they've always had that big type of guy there to be behind LaShawn McCoy, with the Carlos Williams, who had a great go at it for one season, and then,
Drugs.
No?
Drugs.
No.
Probably.
No.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, okay. Big running back name that's going out, and I think this is one a lot of people will like. Dion Lewis to the Titans after they let go of DeMarco Murray.
Makes more sense. More elusive back than DeMarco. I mean, with Derrick Henry already there, he's going to power it, and it's just Dion Lewis can do so many things, and he can even be out there in a 2 running back set, and just a triple option with both of those guys would be insanity.
All right, so I'm going to get your last question on this, and then we'll move on to the NCAA. Which team so far, as a whole, which team done the best job of free agency?
Well, you really can't say anything bad about what the Bills have been doing. You can't really be mad about the Browns either. But I think even though it happened the earliest, I might have to say the Vikings getting Kirk Cousins may have been the best move of free agency so far. The only thing that would have made it a little bit better was if they were able to get one of these bigger offensive linemen that are on the market. Like, honestly, if the Vikings can also come through and sign Justin Pugh, a great guard who would fit in well in Minnesota.
Break your heart.
Break my heart, it would. But that'd be a good fit for them. Just something to help solidify that offensive line, just in case even if there is any health issues, there's still a full line there. That's really going to be big. And, Kirk Cousins, he's been clutch without the lead. I bet with that defense, he's going to see the lead a lot more. So I think it'll be nice to see what he can do when he gets to play his kind of ball and not have to play that hybrid conservative risk where it's like I need to score touchdowns, but I can't give up a bigger lead by throwing interceptions. I think he might be able to have a little bit more fun on this one. So I would go with them, the Vikings.
That's fair. I'm gonna shout shout out to the Browns. Not the Browns. I do really like what the Browns have done, but I'm still under the impression they're going to screw it all up in the draft. You set yourself up perfectly to draft well, and I'm worried they're going to screw it up. But if they do, I don't care. It's the Browns. Whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and shout out the Bears. After last season, another squad that just let receiver, well, not let, but their receiver core just took major hits, and they had no one to throw the ball to. With a defense that was very opportunistic, taking a lot of miscues back to the house, keeping them in the game a lot for a very underrated defense.
Bears have been that kind of defense since Peanut.
Right. So now to give the QB you went all in on, and trade up to second. Anyways, to get him some weapons on the outside, as in Allen Robinson, who was a monster receiver a couple years ago, and him and Blake Bortles are in the spotlight. 80 catches, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. Trey Burton, I think, is about to really start showing you what he is capable of and what he can do in a decent offense. You got a speedy receiver in Taylor Gabriel now, and you still got Jordan Howard behind QB. So, if they draft well as well, they could be looking at a decent season.
And Tariq Cohen, can't forget about
and Tariq Cohen, yeah. So they have the offense in a decent area. Set up your line a little bit, maybe get another sneaky receiver just to see what you have there. Solidify some things on defense if possible. Just make the most of the draft now. You got the right area. You're heading in the right direction. Finish off the race. So let's have some good football next season. Let's see what happens. Got some surprising. We could have some surprising teams just be garbage next year.
It happened this year.
Yeah,
and some bad teams were good.
Yeah,
really, when you think about it, you think about the amount of money that went to Bridgewater, Bradford, and Keenum. You're looking at $20 million for Bradford 1 year. You're looking at possibly $10 million for Bridgewater 1 year.
Right.
And then you look at whatever Case Keenum made, which wasn't breaking the bank either. And you see how much money all those quarterbacks got, and you see what you just paid for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
It really proves what they think the value is of what the quarterback position needed to be in Minnesota.
Well, so what happens if the Vikings don't win a Super Bowl in a 3-year period? What is your perspective now?
Then you took your shot and you missed, but you took your best shot.
Wow. I thought you'd be a little more harsh than that.
I respect the hell out of the move. Will I be a lot harsher as it happens? Hell yes. Will I destroy them for it? Yes.
You best believe it.
I will be pitchforks, torches, ready to tear down that Minnesota organization for letting go, especially if Bridgewater does something. Especially if Case Keenum can make the Broncos relevant. If the Broncos go to the playoffs and the Jets and then the Jets win 7 to 8 games and the Vikings only win 10, you lost. You lost to me.
Bruce Mason, are you saying that the Vikings need better receivers? Or I know you can't speak it out loud, but go ahead and say it, because if you're saying the Vikings need better receivers...
I didn't say that.
No. Bruce here on our live chat. We were saying the Vikings, we were saying the Jets. If it's the Jets, the Vikings... Did you not watch what Diggs and
didn't both Diggs and Thielen make the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, they were both Pro Bowl receivers. They were both first in contested catches last season. Both above 51% of their targets that were contested.
And Kyle Rudolph is honestly the most inconsistent. He's still a top 10 tight end.
I don't think receivers is a problem. If anything,
and Dalvin Cook, if he can get over the drops, will be able to get catches out the backfield. You still got Latavius Murray there, who's also been a solid. Diggs is...
Diggs has had a little bit of injury issues, but nowhere near as many as most people.
Do you not put him on your fantasy team?
I would, in a heartbeat. I've made trades for him, and it worked out perfectly for me.
I'd rather Michael Thomas.
On paper, is there a more complete... Yes, you have the Eagles, but you think about your running game. You think about your receivers, the Kirk Cousins deal, the defense that has been performing. Is there a more complete team on paper besides the Eagles right now, who just reset their defensive line?
Even with the Eagles, unless you're calling Jay Ajayi like a solid running back for them. That I mean, I would say that Minnesota has the best paper team. Intangibles, I would go Eagles.
Right.
Upside, I would go 49ers. There's just so much. Like, if I was going off of potential of what could happen, I mean, you can't deny that the 49ers have something special there. I mean, if Richard Sherman believes, and he's not optimistic.
I honestly though, so I like the Jerick McKinnon signing a little bit. It's just it seems like the players they got on offense are enough to make you want to watch, but I think they will be middle of the pack. I think there's still a couple pieces off. I don't know what those pieces are yet. I think there's still a couple pieces off from being a team. Maybe 3 years.
I agree with that, Bruce. I agree with that. I don't think Kirk is a Super Bowl quarterback. I think Kirk will go down as the best businessman to play the position, not the best, not a Super Bowl champion. I mean, 5 years, all guaranteed money. That's what he's guaranteed the last.
But I think he's going to get a lot of help though, and then it's from those receivers.
I mean,
and Stephon Diggs and
I need to know, but that's also based off of what the hell's going on with what is it? The play calling.
In Minnesota?
Because sure, let's go back to Kirk Cousins when Pierre Garçon and Crowder and who was the other guy there?
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson were all there.
All
1,000-yard receivers.
That's ridiculous.
It hasn't happened again. I just think it's a little rough, and I don't know if I really agree that Kirk Cousins is going to be the guy that brings that back. I think it's the play calling. That's why I think he knew he had to do an all guaranteed money deal too, because he's a system guy.
Word.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I agree, Bruce. I agree. He's a number 2 receiver, but it's because he has somebody like Diggs. And I mean, let's not sleep on the number 2 position. I mean, look at what Mohamed Sanu did last season as a number 2 wide receiver. I mean, the number 2 is a very important guy, and I know you're not saying
Golden Tate, not. Marvin Jones.
Yeah,
Marvin Jones had a great year as a number 2 to Golden Tate.
Yeah, I mean, so and I mean, there's definitely examples all over the league, of course. So, we're gonna see because neither of those guys are going anywhere. And I mean, I broke down the bank in fantasy for Adam Thielen in one league. I don't say break the bank really, but I mean, I gave him some good stuff to make sure he was on my squad and put up some points for me. And they really liked that guy from there. Another undrafted, proven receiver come out and do what he does.
Which goes back to the Packers will be able to find. When it comes to the Sam Bradford, I thought this was classic Arizona Cardinals in the sense that they like to stand still. There's just no way that Sam Bradford is going to all of a sudden rejuvenate a dying Larry Fitzgerald, make Javon Brown any better than he actually is. I mean, they still don't know what Andre Ellington is. They're releasing Adrian Peterson. The only hope that you have for Sam Bradford is that David Johnson comes back healthier than ever, and he only needs to hand it off.
Well, I mean, this is the definition of a bridge QB. This is very much the Jay Cutler signing, yet with someone with a little bit more upside because he's got more time in the league. If he stays healthy,
yeah. I don't think there's more upside. I think there's the exact same amount of upside.
No, I mean, because here's the thing. You see what Sam Bradford could do before all he ever did was get injured. Unfortunately for him, where he's going, he's not necessarily going to be kept safe. That line gave up a lot of sacks last season. But if he stays healthy, he might be able to get back to the numbers he was putting up before.
Right. The only thing Sam Bradford's getting is a lot more Arizona hoodies to wear on the sideline.
This is just a contract year for Bradford in a new uniform where he'll actually get to play, and then he moves on to somebody who needs a QB next year. I mean, what other options do they really have?
Teddy.
We saw how much anyone had any conviction on pulling the plug.
Kaepernick.
Yeah, okay, Kaepernick.
I told you, my long shot a while ago was going to come true. Kaepernick's not playing another snap in the NFL.
I mean, it looks that way. So, I mean, what do you want me to say against that?
Long shots can come true.
The rest of the NFL wants to be stupid. You know, you guys want worse backups? Cool. Just tell you, Kaepernick's not the main reason your ratings are down, but it is what it is. Kaepernick's doing, if you ask me, bigger and better things. So
good for him.
Except when I say good for him, I actually mean it.
I mean it. Humanitarian. Good for you. I don't have the money.
4th and 20 Sports. We got about 5 to 6 minutes here. We are actually going to start on our bracket for our group, our 4th and 20 Sports bracket on ESPN. If you would like to join, we would thoroughly enjoy that. We, in a little bit, will move our conversation over to 4th and 20 Sports. You guys can join us there. We're going to talk a little bit about the brackets, decide who to put where. You guys can argue with us, too. Join the group, and we'll go from there. Yeah, and I mean, if we have time, we're having a good time. You guys have other questions, we'll throw them in, then we can talk a little bit more football as well. But we're going to get our brackets done and personally do with you guys for a little bit. What else, Max? Anything to the people, football-wise?
Get ready to be upset. That's just how it goes.
Everybody?
Browns, Bills, Bears. It never works out when you win free agency. Just doesn't.
Dang, I wish I had like a example where it did really work out.
I guess the Eagles won free agency, but they didn't
really. They didn't really do much. They didn't really do much.
Last year, I meant.
Right. Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, they didn't.
They
really
got long and blunt. Like they got a long blunt.
Just be ready.
They got a long blunt.
Disappointment's coming.
Is it?
Just like our bracket.
No, my bracket's gonna be perfect. Yeah, perfect bracket.
Barkley.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
We missed it. We had this covered. I'm
hoping Saquon goes to the Giants. We really think with the Hyde signing, it is a bit of a mystery, but that doesn't mean the real problem is drafting running back number 1 overall. It just seems like such a thing that just like halts all knowledge of what people think they know and believe about the draft. But you know what? If he's the best player, draft him. You'd be crazy.
It's like yes, Kaepernick deserves being in the league. He's better backup than lots of people for sure, without a question. To me, this whole Saquon thing and don't draft a running back first overall. This is very much like playing a hand of poker where you're not supposed to play 7-2. I had a girl tell me one time, it's like, why don't you play those cards? It's like, well, that's the change of the guard. You don't play cards like that. Why? Because that's what people say. Do you really care what other people think if you win the hand? If you play 7-2 and it hits and you win millions of dollars, do you care that you weren't supposed to do it? Do you care that they were pissed that you played those cards? You shouldn't, because it's about winning their money. I don't care that you think picking Saquon is not something you should do. If he's the number 1 overall player, and everyone will tell you he is by far, and you're not planning on trading your number 4 pick, what is the harm in grabbing the best player number 1 and your overall best need number 4?
And I mean, I can agree with you that the Giants also need to draft an offensive lineman, but the only way we should be drafting an offensive lineman is if we trade our pick to go back a little bit further and gain more picks because Saquon's gone. But you can't pass up. I mean, Barry Sanders didn't need linemen to block for him, and he was able to run just fine. I'm not saying Saquon has the same trajectory as a Barry Sanders, but you can't just pass up on someone like that.
So here's interesting news. The Vikings have traded for Trevor Siemian as well.
That's not a bad backup to Kirk.
Right. I mean, because they went from 3 QBs to 0 QBs. And so now, yeah.
Well, we'll be able to talk about that more as our hour runs down.
Yes. Well, yeah. So we're going to move over to 4th and 20 Sports. We appreciate you guys being with us. Please come over with us to 4th and 20 Sports. We're going to be talking bracket. If you have other questions, we'll try to put them in and string them in as well. But we appreciate you guys being with us on WBLZ Sports. Please hit that like, that follow button on Twitter. Hit that like and follow button on Facebook. And we are going to be out for the day. This will be up on SoundCloud pretty soon. Thank you guys so very much. I've been AJ.
And I'm Max.
Peace. We're headed to 4th and 20 Sports. You guys should come over as well.
Boom.